Okay. Well, welcome everybody back to another one of our Let's Talk About It. I always am really excited, but I really am excited. As I always say that, but I really am. We have Alicia Boateng here today. And before I introduced her, I first wanted to share how I got a chance to be connected with her. She had reached out to me and sent me an email, and we just jumped on a phone call not too long after that. And it was just such a great connection. We had a great conversation. And one of the things that you all know I value so much is just real women, real conversation. And we just kind of jumped in. And then we found out that we had a mutual connection. Our dear friend Pamela Benson Owens, and she had shared, I know Pam for a couple of years has shared a lot of your mugs and everything. So it was good for us to be able to connect. And I'm so grateful that you're here tonight to share some of your wisdom and insights in terms of how you built your career. So, what I would love for you to share, Elisa, is a little bit about yourself before we jump into what you do. Just a little bit about you and your life, and from that.
So thank you so much for having me here today,
Of course.
Kimberly. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time. And just quickly going back to that conversation that
Yeah.
we had, we stayed on the phone for like 30 minutes, and it was that those 30 minutes made my day because it was early
Yeah.
in the morning,
Hmm.
and it
Kids were
really
play.
made my day. It was so refreshing. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you so much.
Oh
Um,
no.
so, hello everyone. My name is Alicia Boateng. I am a mom of four,
Hmm.
and I am in South Florida. I am in Coral Springs, Florida, and I'm obsessed with coffee. If there's anything you need to know about me, is that you need to know that I'm obsessed with coffee.
Yeah,
That's how
I
my
am too.
journey with Alicia Boating Designs started.
Yeah. No, I love that you have this. So go ahead. I can't wait to share what
No,
you
no,
do as it relates to it.
please go ahead.
Okay. Well, so let me share this. So this is one of the first. Let's see if I can. You see all this beautiful
Grace.
mug, okay? And this is something I'm gonna have her share obviously a little bit more about it. But I saw so many different variations of this, and I thought it was such a beautiful design, and you can see such intentionality in it. And every time I put it into like a video or a post, people talk about how gorgeous this is. So I know that you are a celebrity cup designer. How did you get started in that?
Well, I started with my cups. Like I said, I'm obsessed with well, let's
Hmm.
backtrack several years ago. So I was a wedding and event planner for over 20 years.
Okay.
And that just became very tedious, very laborious. And it just started taking a toll on my body. I knew I
Mm.
needed to make a change, and I knew that 20 years was more than enough in the wedding industry.
Right, right.
And so one day I was having coffee with my husband, and I said to him, if my coffee cup
Yeah.
was as enriching and invigorating as my coffee is, it would
Yeah.
make my mornings much more different.
Hmm.
Right then and there, I grabbed the first pen and paper that I saw. I started making a list of how I wanted my cups to make me feel.
Mm.
And the thing with that is that not a lot of people put too much thought into how your coffee cup makes you feel.
Yeah,
You think
yeah.
about how the coffee makes you feel, but not necessarily the cup.
Right, right.
So then I just started drawing, and being that I'm very creative, always had stuff around the house.
Yes.
So I started putting stuff together, and
Awesome.
lo and behold, that's how I came up with my first cup. The first cup from the Afro Glam collection. Her name is Felicia, and
Okay.
I named her after my sister-in-law.
Oh, nice. You know, what I love about what you have created is that it's a very particular, obviously, area of business. And most people would think, okay, I never think about how I would feel about my cup, my coffee cup. But I know, like, if I drink out of this faithfully, I know you have so many beautiful designs.
Well, this one that you're holding up is funny that because I was actually I have her here too,
Okay.
and so her name is Grace.
Okay. Oh,
So her
nice.
name is Grace, and she's the girl of the year. Every year I come out with a new girl, and Grace
Okay.
is the girl of the year.
Mm. And let me just have a side note. She does so many different designs, so definitely go to her website. She has particular ones, and she'll share a little more about that. But first, I want to say hi, Belinda. Just hopped on here, so hi, Belinda. Welcome to um, today's interview. So let me ask you this, because it is a very particular business. Sometimes when people have a very niche area, it's a little bit more of a struggle to build it and to grow it. You've built this brand to where you've been on all type of national TV, media, etc. How did you build it from here to where you are today?
Well, originally when I started the business, cups were not what I started the business with.
Right.
My husband, for my birthday, had bought me
Okay.
a Cricut machine. And I
Oh,
said,
okay.
I'm going to put vinyl on everything. I'm Whatever I can stick vinyl to, I'm going to
Yeah.
stick it. And so I quickly learned that there was no
Yeah.
way that I can compete with the signs that Hobby
Mm,
Lobby sells for $4 that I need to
mhm.
sell for 20 in order to
Right.
make a profit, right?
Right. Right.
So that year we started in 2000. This was May of 2019, and that holiday season, we had a pop-up shop at the
Yeah.
local mall. And so, of course, it was a beautiful little kiosk, and I had all my vinyl.
Yeah. You're like, uh-oh.
all of my I had one side of the kiosk had the Christmas decorations, and the other side of the kiosk had Jewish decorations, right?
Okay.
And so about 2 weeks before I actually started the pop-up shop, I had posted a picture of one of my cups.
Okay.
And as soon as I opened up the pop-up shop, people were coming to me asking me for my cups.
Mhm.
And I was like,
Mhm.
I don't have any cups.
Yeah.
But
So
look at all
you had even started
the
creating those.
decorations that I have.
Oh,
So they came, after the second week of being at the shop, people coming to
mhm,
ask me for cups. I said, "That's it.
right.
I've reached my target market, and I've found my niche, and this is
Yeah.
what I need to focus on." So
Wow.
that's really how the cups began. That's how they took off.
That's so fun. It's like you never know exactly what's going to hit in terms of in your marketing or what's going to draw someone's eye. And these are obviously very beautiful. So let me ask you, what are some of the challenges you faced in building this? Because again, it's a very particular audience. I mean, in terms of marketing these beautiful cups. So what are some challenges you had to work through to get to where you are?
Some of the challenges that I had to face was actually I do better sales online than I do in
Mm,
person. And that's mind-blowing to me because I am the
hmm,
type of person that I like to touch,
yeah.
feel, and see,
I'm surprised.
this is a quality cup.
Right.
It's a heavy quality cup. And
Exactly.
so when I go to the different craft shows and different shows just around town, we even actually went to
Mhm.
Essence.
Okay.
Um, the sales are not there. So it's mind
Really?
blowing. Yes. Yes.
Hmm. Because you would think, like you said, because you can touch, you can feel it, you can see it. It's different seeing it online than seeing it face to face. So I would think that would be more. Yeah, that's interesting. That's
It's
interesting.
very interesting. I can't seem to comprehend why.
Hmm. So if sales are stronger online, how did you even combat that? Because for many people, online e-commerce is a struggle. So how did
Absolutely.
you like market and brand in that capacity?
Absolutely. Well, early on, I used to do a lot of videos.
Okay.
I've gotten away from doing the videos, and I understand that I do have to come back to doing the videos.
Hmm.
But I feel that just the description that the website has, and
Yeah.
because I try to relate with my customers a lot.
Hmm.
So whether
Yeah.
it be through email or my social media, I try to incorporate them, into my family, into my
Right.
everyday, and so forth. So I feel that because of that, I've been able to build a connection with with my clients
Hmm.
and with potential customers.
Yeah.
And because of that, they feel confident in me in purchasing
Hmm.
the cups.
It's nice. So let me ask you this. Okay. So I know that you've built this amazing brand. I know that you've had, I'm sure, ups and downs in building it. What is something you learned about yourself as a female founder and business owner that you were surprised to learn in the journey of becoming a businesswoman?
I learned that without a supportive family, there's no way that I could be here. Absolutely
Mm,
not.
yeah.
There is absolutely no way. No way. I have a vision and I have a dream, and my husband is very supportive,
Mm-hmm.
and he's the one, my husband is very, he's all about the numbers, and
Yeah.
that's like most of our argument, because
Yep.
I'm like, oh, look, a squirrel.
It's like, babe.
He's like, how much is that squirrel costing?
Oh yeah, you gotta have that.
No.
But I love that.
Next subject.
Right. But it's good to have that the balancing of that too, so that you can be as
Of
successful.
course, of course, and I understand
Yeah.
that. I understand that, but
Yeah.
I feel that it's very important, when you are a business owner, that you have to have the support. You have to
Yeah.
the support system. Otherwise, you are not. You won't be confident in what you're doing. You won't be confident in reaching out to others. You
Hmm.
won't put out a product that you believe in. And first and foremost, you have to. If you are product based, even
Yeah.
if you're service based, you have to believe in what you're putting out there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you don't believe it, it's going to be so transparent that nobody else will believe it.
Yeah. So at this stage of where you are in your growth, how would you say that you have been able to balance, and without going to anything personal per se, I know that in the journey, so many different things can happen. Life can happen. And I know that you haven't stopped moving forward. So how do you push through hard seasons that can honestly derail some people to where they don't come back and keep pushing through? How do you personally work through those?
I set a visual goal for myself.
Mhm.
I don't necessarily believe in long-term goals because it's so
Mhm.
hard to get to. So
Mhm.
I set short-term goals,
Okay. Nice.
and that is really what keeps me going.
Nice. So what would you say
That
right now
sounds
to
cliche,
someone
but
that
it's true.
oh, huh?
I said it sounds so cliche, but it's so true.
No, no, but I like that you said that because I think sometimes it can feel daunting or overwhelming if you think 4 or 5 years down the road when you're just trying to get through tomorrow. You're just trying to get through the next couple of months in building. And even in that, things shift so much, especially in today's marketing climate. So what would you say to someone that kind of feels stuck and not feeling like they've kind of plateau in their business? What would you say to that woman right now looking at it saying, look, I've done well. I'm plateauing. I don't know how to scale forward. What would you say to her?
Just don't give up. Don't give up,
Mm-hmm.
because when you least expect it is when you're going to get your breakthrough. So
Mm.
don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up.
Yeah.
Trust me, there's been plenty of nights that I am just so exhausted, and I just want to, I'm like, why am I doing this? You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But I have a vision, I have a dream.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about my business and
Mm-hmm.
about what I do. So for
Yeah.
me, it's not just another cup.
Yeah.
It's an amazing cup that I get to deliver to somebody that once they open that cup,
Yeah.
they're it's gonna guaranteed bring them a smile.
Yeah. I agree.
So that's really what keeps me going as well.
So let me ask you this, Elisa. I know that you've been on, and I would love for you to share a little bit about some of the different news and media that you've been a part of. But something in our phone call that I absolutely love that you shared, and I want you to speak to both of these sides, is you've had national attention. And I would love, like I said, want you to share a little bit about that. But you've also maintained customer service. You are very much intentional about connecting with people. They don't have to go through an automated system. Walk me through one, how you were able to gain that type of national recognition. And second, how do you maintain the customer service that you do have with that level of growth?
I have a PR coach, and
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't do the work for me.
Mm-hmm.
She teaches me how to do my own work. And
Okay.
because of that, I've learned to create and build amazing relationships with producers, editors, reporters,
Mm.
anchors.
Yeah.
And really, that has allowed me to get to to the platforms that I've been on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. So
So share.
she's taught me how to do the work.
Okay.
And just, I'm good at building
Yeah.
relationships, doesn't it? I mean, trust me, if this cup were talking to me, I'd have a conversation with her.
No, but I love that because I think that's something I know you and I when we were on the phone, we were talking about that in so many ways the relationship piece is missing for a lot of businesses. It's very transactional versus relational. So if you
Yes.
can give us a couple of tips if someone says, okay, I need to build on my relationship building because sometimes it's not just sending an email. Like you and I both said, we love to pick up the phone call and have a quick conversation and make it more personal. What are some things you've done to build the personal as you're building, obviously, handling orders and fulfillment and all the different things? How do you maintain that?
Okay, so first of all, what I do is I'll look at them. I'll look for their information through LinkedIn, right? And I'll
Oh,
try
okay.
to make a connection through there.
Mhm.
And if they have an email, I'll send them an email. I won't be pushy, but I'll just
Yeah.
introduce myself, and sometimes I'll get a response, sometimes I
Yeah.
won't, and I'm fine with
Yeah.
that. I look through social media. If they have a social media, then I connect with them there. I send
Mhm.
them messages. Again, I'm not necessarily stalking.
She's like saying that. I want to make sure I'm clear.
I'm not stalking them.
Yeah.
However, I do make it a point so that, if they put a picture that I find interesting or something that relates to me, of
Yeah.
course I'll make a comment and so forth. And that's how I'll start building that relationship there. And
Mhm.
so I will say, my first national TV was the Today Show. And
Oh,
I got
wow.
it, that took a year in the making. And the
Oh.
reason being is that I befriended Megan Murphy, which is the editor of Women's Day magazine, right?
Mhm.
And so I started sending her emails. And the purpose behind my email was because I wanted to get on the magazine.
Right.
And I wanted to get on the magazine for their holiday edition, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So, you know, I would just send her messages, hey, it's me, just checking in. And she was
Yeah.
always so gracious enough to respond to me
Yeah.
and say, listen, we're not doing anything this month, reach out to me again. So she would actually tell me to
Yeah.
reach out to her
I love
again.
that.
So as long as she continued telling me that, of course I was going to keep doing it.
Right, right, right. No, but I have to say, I love what you're sharing right there. And I want to make sure no one misses this, is that you were very intentional about your connections. Like you said, you went to their LinkedIn profile, you went to their social media, you sent a reach out. And I think, putting those different things in place is important. And I love when you said it took a year,
Oh,
because
yes.
everything doesn't happen immediately. You put in the work. And I think sometimes we're in that what's the word I want to use, environment where it feels like if it doesn't happen like tomorrow or in a couple of weeks, it's not going to happen. But you nurture the relationship.
Because a no now is not a no forever. It's a no
Right.
for right now, but it's
Yeah.
not a no forever.
Mm-hmm.
So then, after reaching out to her a couple of months,
Mm-hmm.
she finally said, listen, we've decided that we're not going to do anything for the holidays. We're not going to do
Mm-hmm.
a gift guide this year for the holidays,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm working on something else and I'll keep you posted.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, great.
Yeah.
Whatever you puts me on top of your mind,
Right.
we're good.
Right.
Couple of weeks later, um, I received an email from her saying that she's going to do a Shop Small Saturday
Mm-hmm.
episode or segment rather, and that she wants to feature my cups on the Today Show. I almost jumped out of the car because we were in the car.
I love that. I love that.
And so she's like, do you think you can send me a couple of cups? I'm like, girl,
Yeah.
I'll send
Today.
whatever you want.
No, that is awesome. That is awesome.
And that was the first time that we were nationally featured on TV was the
Yeah.
Today Show. We've also been featured on Forbes,
Mm-hmm.
MSN, Reader's Digest, and the full circle with Reader's Digest is that
Yeah.
I used to go to the doctor's office with my great grandmother,
Okay.
and oh my gosh, I must have been like maybe 5 or 6 years old, and they had the
Mm-hmm.
little booklets at the
Yep.
doctor's office, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I would always tell my grandmother, um, you know, what does this say? What does this say? I couldn't read what it says. And in her
Yeah.
broken English, she'd be like, Reader Digest. I'm like, okay.
I love
I
that.
remember the little books.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so
Yep.
for me to actually be featured in Reader's Digest
Yeah.
40 years later, it's incredible.
Oh, I love that. It's like a full circle moment, but more important, I just love that you are really intentional about who you want to be featured with,
Yes.
attention about building the relationships, nurturing those relationships, which I think is very key. Because even if she kept saying not right now, right now, so many times people can drop off and say, well, it's never going to happen.
Exactly.
And versus you saying, no, I'm going to keep nurturing. I'm going to still keep being present. I'm not going to bug them, but I'm just going to let them know I'm still present. And I
Absolutely.
love that.
Absolutely. I think that is so important. And the way
Yeah,
that you come across makes a huge difference too. Because if
yeah.
you're just a constant sell, 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 sell,
Hmm.
that's they're just going to keep deleting your emails.
Yeah,
You need to come from a place of contribution. And what are you contributing? Listen, I'm contributing that I can be your friend.
yeah,
You don't have to promote my cups. If
yeah.
you want a cup, then let's talk about it.
Right, right, right. But it's funny you said that because we just had an event, and one of the ladies came up to me because there's so many people in there with businesses, and at the end she said one thing I love the most. She said outside of the content and all that, she says that no one was trying to pressure me into sales, into their company, or to sign up for this, or let me be your coach for that, or I have a 6-week program. She goes, there was none of that, and so she said it made her want to learn more about people because it didn't feel like it was in their face. It felt genuine, like let's just share what we do, but not sell. And I think that's such a really important distinction, that it's okay to share what you do, but you don't have to be salesy.
Absolutely. And I will tell you that probably 85% of the time when I'm in a room with other women that know what I do, they're
Mhm.
the ones that tell everybody else what I do because I'm
Yeah.
like they introduce me as a celebrity web designer. I'm like, you know,
Well, you have
you
had
know,
some
but
celebrities,
somebody
but
that opens their eyes and says, yes, you
yes. But I do think it's a beautiful thing of what you've been able to build, especially because it's something that you absolutely love doing. When we were on the phone call, I remember thinking that she really loves what she does, and I love that because it comes across in how you present yourself and how you present what you do, and that draws people in. It really does, because it's like it makes you excited about the mug as well. So I think that's
Absolutely,
beautiful.
absolutely. And the message behind the cup is that
Hmm.
it's to empower you. It's to
Yes.
bring you a smile.
Yeah.
It's to make it's a great compliment to your daily affirmations.
Yeah.
When you sit
Yeah.
there and you just take 10 minutes to yourself and you recite your affirmations and you
Hmm.
just remind yourself that these 10 minutes are for you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. There's two things. My cups are not dishwasher safe and they're
Yeah.
not microwavable, right?
Right.
So they're not microwavable because this forces you to sit down and have
Yeah.
warm cup of coffee or tea
Yeah.
and have those 5-10 minutes to yourself
Hmm.
that we all need.
Yeah.
So I did that intentionally as well. Like you say, everything is absolutely.
It
Yes,
is. It is.
that was intentional. That was
You
intentional.
know, One thing I have to say this about you, and I remember you mentioned this also. I guess we had a lot on the phone call that we had.
It was
But
very
even with every
meaningful. It was very
right,
meaningful.
it was. It was. I love that you said how no matter what success that you've gained and that you've been blessed with, you're still who you are. And that people
Absolutely.
are surprised sometimes when you answer the phone and they're talking to you and they're like shocked, like, wait a minute, I'm talking actually to you. But what I love about that is it shows how you've been able to manage your success in a way that doesn't take away who you are. And I know that is a struggle for some people. So what would you share in that space? How do you maintain you when you have like all this limelight on you and your business? How do you still stay who you are? Still stay the same.
I love that. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for asking that. The reason why I do it is because I put myself in others' position, right?
Mm, yeah.
And I will tell you, I support small businesses as
Hmm.
much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I'll purchase something that I don't even need.
Hmm.
I hope he's not behind the next.
When you get off, he's like, "What was that?"
So, anyways, I'll make the purchase because
Yeah.
I love supporting, because
Yeah.
I feel that it'll definitely come back to you
It
tenfold as
does.
well,
It
right?
does.
And so when I go on to the person's website, I want to know who's behind that brand.
Hmm.
I want to know who I'm buying from.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to know that if I have an issue, which I don't foresee having an issue with whatever it is I purchase,
Right.
that
Right.
I can pick up the phone and I can call and say, listen, I made this purchase from you. This happened. How
Yeah.
can we fix it? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I need that human connection in order to
Mhm.
feel comfortable about the purchase that I've made. So I
Yeah.
want my customers to feel the exact same way.
Mhm.
I want them to feel the same way. Like I said, I want them to know about my family. I want them to know where I came from. I
Yeah.
want them to know that this is a small business, that it's a black owned business because my
Yeah.
husband is black. I'm
Yeah.
Cuban. I was born and raised in Miami, Cuban
Mhm.
parents, but
Yeah.
my husband is black
Yeah.
and we're 50-50 owners.
Right. Right.
And that's very important for me to get that message across.
Mhm. I love that.
So
Thank
that
you.
for me, I mean, I can't even tell you. I mean, unless it, God forbid,
Yeah.
it blows up but I guaranteed my number will still remain the same. And you call me
Mhm.
and I'll pick up that phone.
And you do, and I really appreciate that about you because I think it shows people that you can still have great success and still be very customer driven because it makes people not feel like they're a transaction. They really feel
Absolutely.
like they are genuine customers and you care that they're investing their dollars into your business. That makes a big difference.
Not only that, but listen, with every message that I receive, whether it's through email or text message or whatever, I
Hmm.
always make sure that I thank them
Hmm.
for their support.
Yeah.
And I think because they have a choice. There's
Hmm.
a gazillion other cups
Yes.
that they can buy. And
Yeah.
they made a choice of purchasing from me.
Yeah.
So somewhere along the transaction, we made a connection and
Right.
they agreed to press the send to make the payment.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that's what makes you stand out the way that you do, for sure. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this in closing. Um, Tell us a little bit about how someone can purchase your mugs. Is it more pre-designed? Can they get custom? Like, share with us a little bit about that process.
So we have I have several different collections. So the
Okay.
Afro Glam collection, which is the original collection that I started with, has
Hmm.
over 26 different designs
Oh,
with
wow.
different colors that
Okay.
they can choose from. If they don't see something that they like and they
Uh-huh.
want a custom, yes, I do have the option, depending on the design and the colors
Yeah.
and so forth that they want. Yes, I do have the option of customizing it for them.
Okay.
I have the Latina collection, which I'm
Hmm.
super happy that it just came out.
Yeah.
So it was inaugurated with Celia Cruz, which is a Cuban icon singer
Yeah.
in her days. Well, she passed
Still
away.
icon.
I still remember.
Yeah. She's still icon.
Oh Lord, I play her every single day. I love her. So yeah, I have different collections that they can certainly look through, and they can
Okay.
look at my website. It's
Okay.
www.aliciaboateng.com.
And we'll make sure to put that up too so that people can see it and so they can go and visit it. I know whenever I posted it, people immediately like, this is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I know that was one of the questions that I had was, are there any custom designs or is it what kind of collections that she has? So they can see all that on your website.
Yes. I
Okay.
also have which I'm very, very proud of this collection, the Black Excellence Collection. And that
Oh,
was inaugurated in 2021.
okay.
And it was inaugurated with Madam CJ Walker.
Mm.
I love her. I love
Mm.
her
Yeah,
reason for living, and just I can resonate with her so much.
same
So
here.
the collection was inaugurated with that.
Mhm.
Last year we did Maya Angelou, which was
Mm.
huge, huge, huge
I
seller.
bet. I bet.
Huge seller. She out of all three that I currently have, she's my number one bestseller. And then this year we did Harriet Tubman.
Oh, wow. So
Yes.
you do one each year, kind of highlighting
One
someone.
each year, yes. For the
Love
Black
that.
Excellence, we are highlighting Black American women from history.
Okay. That's beautiful.
Yes.
You picked some pretty strong ones there.
I know, I know.
You really
Everyone's
are.
always asking me for like Michelle Obama but I want women from history that have
Yeah.
made, you know, that have paved our way to
Yeah.
with their voices and just with their actions
And their
and their
sacrifice.
heroism. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I love that. And we'll make sure we put the information up there because I really want people to support you and the beautiful work that you're
Thank
doing.
you.
Is there any closing statement that you would say to a female founder right now listening, just as a form of encouragement?
Absolutely. I want to make myself available to anyone that has any questions or
Mhm.
just, don't know exactly where to start, and
Mm.
they're just feeling lost, listen, pick up the phone, give me a call. I will
Mm.
answer.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I will call you back, I promise. Send me an email and we can have a quick chat. I'm all about empowering women and
Yeah.
uplifting them. And if there's anything that any advice that I can offer that will keep you going in
Mhm.
your to reach your goal, I'm definitely here to help.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
really like my closing statements, because it's so important. When I started my
Right.
wedding and event planning business, I didn't have anybody to help me.
Mm.
I started on my own
Yeah.
and just doing my own research, and just, through trial and error, I became a
Yeah.
top wedding planner.
Mm.
So, I've applied a lot of my business knowledge from the wedding planning into this business as well.
Right.
So I've had that uh, luck, I guess, if you
Mhm.
want to call it.
Yeah.
But I know that there's a lot of women that don't. I know that
Yeah.
they don't know where to start, and I'm definitely available to answer any questions that you have. I
Mm.
will say that it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
Like I said, you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in your product, and you need to walk into a room, and you need to
Mhm.
own that room, and you
Yes.
need to feel confident, and just I, I can't stress enough that just believe in yourself. Even if
Yeah.
nobody else believes in you, believe in yourself, please. I'm
Yeah.
begging you to believe in yourself, because
Yeah.
it's going to make a huge difference.
And I'm glad you said that. I'm not going to add nothing to that because you summed it up beautiful. You have to believe in yourself. So I appreciate you sharing that. And I thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you as always.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
and
so
please know that we are here
exciting.
to support you in any way that
Thank
we can.
you. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're
I appreciate
welcome.
your time, Kimberly.
No, thank you. You have a good evening.
You too. Bye,
All
everyone.
right. Bye.